Hi caregivers and families, welcome back. This week I would like to talk to you about activities and tips that you can do with the nursery rhyme book that's coming home this week. This nursery rhyme book has a collection of popular nursery rhymes and rhymes that we've studied and sang and talked about and played with throughout the month of November. So essentially this is their little collection of nursery rhymes, and you can read this during story time, bedtime, or just whenever they have a moment and they want to sing some songs. So a couple activities that you can do today, and you can try them and see how that works for you. So of course, one of the things that you can do is you can sing it together. You're going to sing them while looking at the words. Maybe families a grown-up can help point to some of the words as you sing. Make sure that you always read the title. Title is a part of the poem and the song, so it's important for them to know that each song has its own title. So for example, this one, we can read it together. Mary had a little lamb. And if you're ready to sing it, you can do it with me right now. Should we sing this together? Here we go. Keep your eyes on where my finger is. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece as white as snow. Now I won't go on because it's quite a long song, but you get the idea. So by doing that and pointing at the words, it really gets them to look and associate the sound and the print together. Another activity that you can do with them is you can change the song. So this is something that we've talked about before with our other poems. You can do the same with songs as well. For example, you can cover up the word lamb with a little piece of paper. Right here, I just used the sticky part of a Post-it, but at home you can just use any piece of small paper that can cover up the word. Now, you can write, sing and think Mary had a little, what else could Mary have? Maybe a little kitten, maybe a little horse, maybe a little cat, maybe a little dog. So whatever that they decide to do, this is something that's open-ended, and it's fun for them to make up their own song and sing it. You can also cover up Mary, just when I can get the sticky note here. You can cover up Mary and use somebody else's name. You can write Mommy had a little lamb, or you can write Daddy had a little lamb, or Grandpa had a little lamb. And even furthermore, you can even cover up the little lamb and change more of the song. And of course, as you're changing the song, you're going to talk to your little one about, well, why did you choose that? Or if it's a little, let's say they choose a little tiger, would it have fleece? What would it look like? So it really leads to more discussion and more things to talk about. So that's one way that you can play with these songs. Another way that you can play with this song is by telling a story. So after you read this little pig, you can tell them a story. You can say, hey, let's make up a story about this little pig. It says, this little piggy went to market. Start off the story. Once upon a time, there was a little piggy that went to the market. He went to the market to get some apples. This little piggy stayed home. And another piggy stayed home because he was maybe sick, maybe he was wanting to play, maybe he wanted to be at home. This little piggy had roast beef. Roast beef is something that's big and meaty. What else could he be having other than roast beef? So on and so forth. So you can really turn a song or a poem into more of an elaborate story. Again, putting in story elements, like using words like once upon a time, and then, after that, one day, for examples. So try that with any of the songs and poems. You could even write down your story and bring it to school. I'd love to read it to everybody. The very last way to use this book is you can talk about vocabularies. For example, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You can talk about wall. What does the word wall start with? W. If your little one is able, get them to write the word wall. Or if you like to, you can make up a bunch of rhyming words that rhymes with the word wall. So now you are really focusing on the words within the song or the poem. So these are really quick and simple ways to use this little nursery rhyme book of yours. And of course, they can continue to color it, and it's a nice little keepsake for them that they can use until grade 1 and grade 2 and so on and so forth. Are you ready for Mrs. Ng's book pick this week? Now this week, it's Mrs. Ng's book picks. Last week I showed you the Gingerbread Man and how it comes in many different kinds of versions. So I hope that you've had a chance to read some of them. This week, we're going to show you some variation of the Gingerbread Man's story. So this one is the Gingerbread Girl, and they love this book because the ending is different. So make sure you take it out from your local library or the local bookstore. The Gingerbread Girl by Lisa Campbell Ernst. It has a different ending, and you can talk about how the Gingerbread Man is different than a Gingerbread Girl, or if they have a preference, which story do they like better. It's a pretty exciting book too, as you get closer to the end. Another one is the story by Jan Brett, one of the Gingerbread story by Jan Brett. This one is the Gingerbread Baby. She also has one that's called Gingerbread Friends, so you can definitely check both of these out at your local bookstore or library. And this one's really fun because it's a mischievous little gingerbread baby that goes around and causing trouble. And in the end, the maker, who is not a little old woman or a little old man, in fact is a little boy named Maddie. You can see him in this little magic window here. He is going to try and catch the gingerbread baby. So these are the books that we've read this week so far. And of course, there are many other holiday stories that you can introduce and be a good chance to talk about the holidays, should you be celebrating them or exposing to them to one of the Canadian cultural holidays. That's it this week for Mrs. Ng's video time. We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.